Check. You got any audio? Check. Yep. Yep, we got it. Okay. So, gotta go here. My videos and live and hit that. Save. All righty, Gary, I see you're in there already. Or maybe not. Nope, I guess you're not. Okay, so what do we got going here? Stunt Hangar Zoom meeting. 8 watching already, 108 seconds. There's Gary.
Yeah.
All right. Figured I'd work on this while we get going here. I got so many projects, ridiculous.
Yeah. Got a lot of stuff going on.
Yep. If I want to have any fun with this summer, I gotta fix it. Somehow, I gotta fix it. We'll figure it out.
Is that the one with the bell crank issue?
Yep.
Yeah, it's a shame. This fluke
Yeah.
thing.
One flight. One flight. I think I can make it work though. So
No, yeah. You corrected a lot of them, so yeah.
somehow we'll make it work.
You have to put a whole new thing in there, don't you?
Yep. Probably gonna have to open up that push rod exit too, because it's a different setup. Well, I know why people aren't on the Hangout. They're all at the
Is that,
VSC.
oh, is this still going on?
Well, I guess.
Oh,
I mean, that's why they weren't there
yeah.
last Friday.
Yeah, I heard you say that. I suppose it could be on their way back if it's
It's quite a drive over there.
yeah. Oh, we had some warm weather today. So
Yeah, it was 75 here.
flying weathers are coming.
There we go. Oh, crap. I guess I can put this over there so you guys can see what I'm doing.
You opened up knowing the opening in the bottom of the fuselage, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
You hate to cut on it, but
I know. Yeah.
what are you going to do?
What else? Yeah.
See here.
Looks like you got some super chats there.
I did.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see here.
Yeah.
Wayne Roach and RC Fred. Thank you, Fred, and thank you, Wayne.
Yeah. Much appreciated, guys.
Yes, indeed. See, with all these screens opened up, I can't hardly see it.
Yeah, I just have to turn on the chats and see what we got.
So we've had 3 chats for the month. What the heck happened here? Oh, there you are. This stupid thing will not stay on this screen. If I do that, let's try that. Then go down and then hit this. Nope. It goes back over to the other side. Yeah, I can't for the life of me figure this out. Oh well. I haven't even eaten. Usually I eat before these hangouts. But because of daylight savings time, I'm all screwed up. We got there. Fred. What's up, Fred?
How you doing, guys?
Very good.
I sprayed my ringmaster today.
All right.
Finally had some decent weather.
What'd you spray it with, dope?
Yeah, I got it right here. It came out pretty good. I monocoated the wings and I doped the fuse. Can you see it? Yeah.
It's blurry for some reason.
You guys back
No?
Let me fix that.
Works good if you don't have something to show, but there you go.
Oh yeah, that turned
Oh
out.
yeah.
So I got to
Yeah, it looks good.
yeah, it came out pretty good. One of the questions I had So I had like some Monaco, the wings are Monaco, and I had some like neon green trim piece on it. I peeled it off because I didn't like the way it looked, but I'm going to redo it. If I use, there's this, if I wanted to put like a real small piece of Monaco on the over the dope and then clear over it, do you think I'd have a problem with that?
Probably. Probably, yeah.
Because there's no matching dope color that'll match this neon green. It's pretty, it's like a, one of those really almost like construction green. But when you use a small bit of it, it looks pretty good.
Well, what would I do? Hmm. I know that you, I hate to say, you need to ask somebody that's a monocoder if they can figure it out. I don't have a whole lot of expertise in monocoat.
The other thing that happened is I think that I had put some the numbers on the wing, and I think the vapor. I had to put a little clear on it. I think the vapor of the dope it made it attacked the decals. I had it covered, but something weird happened with the decals on the wing.
Did you make the decals?
No, there's a guy on eBay that cuts it, and
Or is it vinyl?
yeah, it's vinyl.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's hard to see, but if you look close, they kind of you can't see it online. They kind of faded. Yeah, but that's what I think happened. Oh well.
Well, I would just go ahead and fly it and not worry about it. You're gonna bring it to Brodex, right?
Yeah, if I don't crash it first. So I got to build a 40 size plane next.
Wow. Hmm. Very strange. Huh. Well, that's one I hadn't run into before.
Plane looks nice though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That the my earbuds, I can't figure out how to turn them down. I turned the computer down. I turned it down to 5%, and you're still just as loud as you were before. So I don't know what the heck's going on. I don't know, but we'll figure it out. I'll play with it here in a minute and figure it out. I don't know. How you doing, Gary?
Pretty good.
Behaving yourself? Behaving
Had a nice,
yourself?
oh yeah, had a nice day today. Pretty and
Good deal.
sunshine.
Yeah, good deal.
Well, Phil, I went to the post office today to mail a box. The
Yeah.
box, the box was that big, and it weighed an ounce, and it was $10.50. So can you imagine what a big box is going to cost to mail?
Yeah, but take it to UPS pack and ship. It'd be a lot cheaper. I just packed a bunch of stuff up and sent it to my brother, and it's a lot cheaper there than it is to post office. Sparky, did you just absolutely cut the whole center out of that wing?
I
Looks
did.
like you cut the fuselage and everything. What happened? The bell crank just came apart.
Yep, never seen one do that before.
Wow.
The ear came right off of it.
Oh boy, that's fun. What kind of bell crank was it?
Sig.
Oh my gosh, I got that in a bunch of planes. Don't tell me that. Oh Lord. Well, just tell me when you're ready to ship that thing and go by pack and ship or someplace and find out what it's going to cost, and I'll send you a check for all of it. Lord of mercy, what plane is that?
This is my profile Viper.
Oh my gosh.
I got one flight on it.
Hmm.
I'm
Well,
glad.
at least it didn't break in flight and lose the whole plane.
Yeah, because I'd have lost an engine.
Yeah. What motor's on that one?
Brian Gardner Super Tiger 46.
Yeah, I've got about 3 or 4 of those. Those are good motors. Don't drink near the fuel the stock one does, and I think it makes more power.
I'm sure it does.
And the memory, it acts a lot better. I can't think of the word. I've had 2 days in a row. I'm having a hard time coming up with words, but the manners are a lot better than it was with a stock motor, or even I've got one that's Tom Lay, and I really don't want to dig into it, but when the ring goes, I'm gonna have to. I got a sleeve downstairs for it.
See, if I put it in there, I'm gonna have to tie this one. So I need to put that through this side here.
And you better dry fit all that stuff twice before you put anything together, or you liable to be in a mess.
Oh yeah, I'll be fine.
That's a good looking little airplane. You bringing that in the Brodak?
Yeah,
Good deal.
probably sell it.
Well, let me see it before you let it go.
Whoever's got the money first, that's what I say.
Yeah, that's the problem. You get there a day before I do. I don't get there till Monday evening. Mm,
Get there 2 days before you.
yeah.
Like Friday night.
Oh Lord.
I take a full week and a week and 2 days. I think we're over on Sunday. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I don't get in there till Monday usually. Stay Monday to Saturday, and then I'm gone.
Well, we don't normally fly PA until Sunday, so or Saturday, Sunday.
Yeah.
But this year I want to have more fun than just one event. I want to do N30 if they got it. If they don't, well, I'll fly pro. I think they have profile. I don't know.
All right, did the other speaker pick up?
What's that?
Trying to figure out if I had to take these things off. It's just too loud in my ear. I can't take it. I tried to turn the speaker, turn it down to 10%, and it was still just loud. That's my
Go
goodness.
down the bottom right hand of your screen
Yep.
on the computer. You're not using the app, and then there's a little speaker down there. Push that up and
Yep.
then turn it down.
Yep. That's what I did. It's that whole box is illuminated now. Nightlight accessibility project, light and sound, and it's all illuminated, but I just can't get it to go down. I don't know why. Turn it down to 10%. The darn thing is still just loud. Let's see if this does anything. Turn it down on here. All right, somebody say something.
Hey, something. Are you there?
Yeah, it works on the computer. It's not working on the earbuds for some reason.
Can you hear me now?
Oh yeah, I hear you. Let me turn that back down a bit. Oh yeah, I can hear you. But on the earbuds, it's on 25% there. But on the earbuds, it sounds like wow. Sound like going to a concert or something, brother. It's really loud. That's one of
Maybe
the
you need to
That's
maybe you need to go to the earbud part. Earbuds.
Well, I'm going to have to, but I
Is
don't
that-
know I don't know how to do that.
well,
I'll have to figure that out. I don't know how to do that. It's always worked when I use my Apple earbuds. It's always worked. That one works on my earbuds. These earbuds are not Apple, and I don't know how you control these.
Sparky, what's the wingspan on that one?
I don't know, 58, I think.
Would a 40 fly it, a 40 FP, or I would need something bigger?
Well, 40 FP would, yeah, it probably would, but it's fit for a Super Tiger. Kind of hate to narf it all up even more than it's going to be. Of course, it'll be fixed. You won't be able to tell that this has happened.
No, I mean if I was going to build one of those.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how light you build it. If you build a lumber wagon, no. But I had a Viper powered by a 40 FP. Viper 1 was powered by a 40 FP on a pipe.
Yeah, they kept telling me that wouldn't work. That won't work. That won't work. FP won't go on a pipe.
Yeah,
I went to a contest. I bet there was a half a dozen of them there. Virginia crowd, west, not the coastal Virginia, but part of the Lorton guys showed up, and I mean there were several of them had pipe 40s, and they were a force to be reckoned with. They didn't have they didn't have any power problems. I'll put it that way.
nope. I tell you that the airplane. Yeah, I used to monkey around in the 90s with experimenting. Here, I'll show you a picture of an airplane that I built and designed in the 90s. Okay, here's a this is a Viper with a 40 FP on a pipe.
Wow.
This is a Viper with 40 FP on a pipe.
Pull it over to the left some more. Can't see it. Oh, I think I remember that one. That was a pretty airplane.
Now this one is a 32F on a pipe.
Yeah, I had one of those. That's strong. Oh, you angled it now. Oh, cool.
Yep. Here's the setup of the pipe.
Yeah.
Here's the sides of the airplane with a handsome young fellow holding it during Christmas. Oh, there we go.
Let's see it.
Let me make myself big here. I don't have these digitized.
You are big, Sparky. It's you whole page, man.
Let's see here. Spotlight for everyone. There we go. Okay. This is Viper 3 with 40 FP on a pipe. This is the Sorcerer 32F on a pipe. That's a little airplane, but boy, it sure. I sold it to John Lowry. Everybody know who that is?
I've heard of him, but I can't recall who he is.
There's how the wheels pants were set up.
Oh yeah.
Here's that picture again. Bottom that airplane.
It was a nice looking plane.
I used to be able to build.
Used to be able to build.
Yeah.
Yeah, you keep on talking that junk, Sparky.
That'll give you a better idea how the engine is. It's on an RC radial mount.
Mm-hmm.
Who made the header part of the pipe?
The
OS
Tory.
Max.
Who?
OS Max.
Yeah.
Mine was a Tory when I did that.
Oh, it's Max. What the hell happened to the mouse? I can get it out of the. There it is.
You ate it, Ralph. Hmm. Oh boy. Hmm. We are getting to that dreaded time of year when everything starts to bloom. The cars turn yellow and my sinuses go absolutely crazy.
What part of the country are you in?
North Carolina.
Good. Yeah, our snow just melted. We're in Connecticut.
Heck, we just had a snow. What was it? Friday morning, and by noon it was 55 degrees. Snow was not predicted. Weather report said it can't be snowing. It can't be snowing. I said, well, I'll tell you what, give me a email address. We took pictures and sent it to them. I said, by golly, it's snowing, or else the Jolly Green Giant's got a hell of a case of dandruff. They said, well, it is sporadically, what'd he say? It was sporadically snowing in sparse areas, which is about as double talking as I can ever remember him doing. In other words, I guess it could happen, but it shouldn't be happening. But it did. I asked Alexa what the weather was that morning, and it says in Lexington it's snowing. Do what? 45 degrees and snowing. I do what? I walked outside, and sure enough, I got to get pictures of this. Nobody's gonna believe this.
You live close to Wind Fall, huh?
No, no, he lives in Kentucky.
I thought you just said Lexington.
I did. I'm in Lexington, North Carolina, the barbecue capital.
Oh,
He lives in Lexington, Kentucky.
oh, I gotta set the record straight. Larry Fruits lives in northern Indiana.
Yeah,
Last week I said Michigan, I thought, because I thought Dennis lived in Michigan for some reason. I don't know.
he used to. He grew up in Michigan, but he lives in Indiana now. He lived in North Carolina for a while, not that far from me, and was flying sailplanes at the time. So was I, and I never went to the contest that he was at. That's a shame because we could have had a lot of fun together. I had a fellow when I quit flying sailplanes. I had a fellow come over here one night and look at what sailplanes I had. He bought all but three of the planes I had, made me an offer on all but three of them, and just bought me out. I said, cool, I need the money more than I need the planes right now because at the time I wasn't flying sailplane. I was traveling so much, I wasn't flying much of anything. What are you doing, Sparky? Just trying to wedge that in there?
Yeah, gluing a popsicle stick in there. There it is.
I suggest you don't put a bell crank in with CA.
No.
I've had people do that before and it doesn't end well.
Well, this is different. I made little pieces of motor mount where You can't see.
Yeah,
There,
I can see it. Yeah.
motor mount.
Yeah.
I glued the motor mount to the spar.
That's a good idea. And that's that pine spar you did, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, that ought to be tough enough.
Well, it was the
Steve
plywood.
Stewart.
What's that?
I said,
Right. Yeah, I'm just cleaning up around the shop here.
that's something I desperately need to do, and I just cannot seem to find time to do it.
Yeah. I'll be listening in.
Mhm.
Well, when you're done with yours, you can come over here and do this one.
I wouldn't touch yours. Yours is not near as bad as mine is, but I put somewhere you can't find it, and I'd be the devil's advocate for sure.
I can't find half the shit in here as it is. I can be using it, set it down, and 2 minutes later it's gone. I don't know where it
Oh, I
went.
know. Just a few minutes ago, you did that with a mouse.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's because there's so much stuff.
Oh, I know. I got the same problem. I work on a 4x8 table that used to be a conference room table. And it's so covered up with crap, I've got about a 2 foot by 10 inch area to work in. So the day I started just putting stuff in boxes and gathering it up and getting it, we'll put it in I bought me a shelf unit, whatever you call them things. And I'm gonna put everything on shelves and mark what it is, so I can pull a box out and hopefully find something. We'll see. Trying something new. I don't know if it's gonna work. I'm trying to buy a toolbox, a big toolbox, and put in there and put
I
all
got
my
a toolbox I'll sell you. Snap on.
No, I'd like
How
to
big
have.
a toolbox you want?
Well, I was gonna get a big one, but I don't think I can afford what I want. I looked at what a used toolbox cost, and man,
I'll sell you a KRL box. Top of the line, it's 72 inches wide by 30 inches deep. Or I'll sell you, I'd say the bottom, the top, the side cabinet, the machinist chest, or the roll cart, 7 row roll cart. All somebody got to do is make me a decent offer.
wow. You realize what you just mentioned is worth.
Oh yeah, I know what I paid for it.
I ain't got $2,500 right now, and that's a cheap estimate.
Yeah,
This
because
is a real cheap estimate.
all that shit there I just mentioned cost me around
$7.
no more than that, about 23,000.
Holy smoke! Oh, it's Snap-on. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it's Snap-on. I don't deal in Snap-ons. I can't even afford to look at Snap-on. I've got Snap-on tools, but not boxes. My boxes, two of them are toolboxes are both Craftsman, and the woodwork box, I don't even remember what kind it is.
Well, I'll tell you, I was in Harbor Freight, and the Icon line is comparable to Snap-on. The quality and the side, but the prices, like a third of what a Snap-on box is.
Oh yeah, they're nice boxes. I wanted the ones when not the generation that they have now, back when they were $1,000 or $1,100. I wanted to buy one, and then all of a sudden there was none there to buy. And he said, "Oh, we'll have some more in next week." Well, they did, but they were the new generation, and instead of $1,100, they were $1,700. But I looked at them; they were a nicer box, but I couldn't afford $1,700. So I saved up the other $600, and I went to buy me a box. And guess what? They had just had a sale and sold out of Generation 3. Now they got Generation 4, and they're 1,900, right at $2,000 by the time you pay taxes. But it is a really nice box.
Box I'm talking about is 10,000.
Oh, you're talking about the big boy with the top cabinet and everything on it.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
just talking about the lower box, just the lower box. That's all. I was going to put a piece of wood and then a piece of glass on it, have a 72-inch building surface, and then have, I think it was 23 drawers, something like it. No, it wasn't that many drawers.
Let's see.
Maybe it is 23. I can't remember. You got one drawer on top though that's 72 inches. It's really only 68. But anyway, it's big enough to put a stunt wing down in. It's 4 inches deep, big enough to put a wing down in and close it up, not have to worry about anybody denting it. That's what I wanted, but the price just kept going up and up and up and up. And I just don't want it $2,000 worth.
Well,
Hey.
the bottom box I'm talking about is $3,000 from Icon.
Oh yeah, you're talking about for the Snap-on or for the one from Horrible Freight?
Harbor Freight. And
Wow.
then the top hutch is 1,000, and the side cabin is 1,400, and the machinist captain is another 1,000. So you're looking at 1, 2, 3.5, 3.5. You're looking at about $3,500 for. Well, no, that's the other one. You know, you're looking at that's 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, 6,000, and then you got the top. That's so 6, 7, about $8,000
Yeah.
for the cheapie. I mean, that's not Snap-on.
Yeah, I don't do enough mechanics anymore to be worth. I've already got more than what I.
ARL Snap-on SNAPON. I'll tell you what my box cost. There it is, right there. It's even the right
There,
color.
you can about triple it. Just take what you're talking about and just about triple it. Because I know a guy that had a $23,000 box, and it wasn't near as big as what you're talking.
Just my bottom box is $8,150.
Yeah.
Oh, wait a minute. 9-drawer double. And then I got a top and a side, you know, the locker and a machinist cab and a 7-drawer roll cart. That was $4 or $5 grand.
Yeah. Well, see, as a mechanic, you made a living with that stuff, so you could afford to do it.
Well,
The trick's not just having the tool you need, it's being able to find it when you need it. It's worth it when you do that. I had my box that I carried as National Service Tech. I didn't have to look in the box. I'd put the box on the table. I could lay my hand in the box and find something that I could figure out what it was and grab the tool I needed without ever looking. I had my boss didn't believe I could do that. He tested me on it 3 or 4 times. I ain't bought a Pepsi for him yet. He bought several for me though. Show me a spring hook. You know, anything like that.
okay. Who'd we lose?
The real Steve Smith.
What happened to him?
He's still
I don't
here.
know.
He just left his.
He's still on. He just disappeared for a minute, evidently.
You.
Gary's getting awful fuzzy. I don't know what's going on.
Um,
Yes, he's back.
Oh, there he is.
I
Okay.
dropped something.
If
There
I
it is.
couldn't drop anything, I couldn't be.
I tell you what, I don't know how I lived without this.
Oh yeah, that's a handy little tool. I bought one of those when I was rebuilding a house, rebuilding the kitchen, and my daughter bought a house and we redid the house for her and got it all done up. And then they decided not to get married. And now what do I do? We held on to it for a year because they couldn't make up their mind if they were going to break up or go ahead and get married. Finally, somebody made us an offer on it, and I sold a sucker.
It ain't a model airplane tool, but it sure is handy.
It is handy. It is really handy.
Daddy, call your baby.
Honey, he just got off my lap.
Call your baby. I gotta put the gate up.
Come here, Jack. Come here. I'm telling you what, you think a schnauzer can't fly. This one can jump from halfway across the room and land in my lap. Oh, Lord. But when my daughter or my wife decides to go out on the front porch and sit, you don't want to be the one trying to hold him when he decides he wants to go. The little rascal can go. I've had Pomeranians and rat terriers all my life, but I never had a schnauzer. I had people tell me, you better watch it. They're really lively. Lord, they weren't kidding. Strong, fast, and determined. Hmm.
Well, Phil, what plane you working on now?
Me?
Yeah.
I'm working on the P-47, getting everything buttoned up and ready for the top and bottom blocks. And I worked on the rudder a little bit today, getting it ready. It's going to be, I don't know if you'll know what I'm talking about, if anybody will know what I'm talking about, but if you ever built an Al Raby airplane, instead of having that rudder on that thing is built out of a piece of half-inch wood. And it's just cut to shape, and then the center of it cut out, and you put ribs in it. Well, Al Raby wouldn't do it that way. Al would have a post here, and he'd have a piece of 1/4 inch coming down for the front, and then he'd put ribs in it, and then he'd take 1/16 and sheet it on each side. So that's the way I did it. Then I cut the center out. Well, I already had the center cut out when I put it together. And I took where I had the ribs inside it, I just added a piece of 1/16 by 1/16 to those ribs to bring it up to the skin level, and then sanded that all to meet. And it's a whole lot lighter than it would have been had I built it out of 1/2 inch, because I don't know about the wood that Bill Werwich could get his hands on, but what I could get my hands on, that rudder was almost 1 ounce. And I said, that's just too dang heavy. Fin and rudder was almost 1 ounce. That's just too darn heavy. So I built it at about a third, just over a third of that. Couldn't get it down to a 1/4, but I got it to a third. But if it ever lands inverted, it'll be rudderless. There's nothing there. There's just not much wood there at all. It'll grind down quick.
I can tell you when mine hit the ground, it exploded like an explosion. It was
Yeah, I heard.
not the one that I got the tail of. The one that I crashed at Booter Park. It went straight into the ground like that on the pavement. Bam! It just thousands of little slivers everywhere.
Well, I don't know if you remember the years back, there was an airplane in, I think it's model aviation, called the Stunt Fire. I can't remember the guy's name that did it, but it's built like a Gillows kit. Well, I thought that all those stringers coming back were all balsa. And I didn't know any better. I built it out of 1/16, 1/8, or whatever it was, balsa. Whatever the plans call for, I built it out of balsa. Well, I was getting that thing ready to fly, and I was going to put a 60 in it, but that was just about the time I got talking to Al Raby about the 4-stroke Bearcat. So I figured, in my infinite wisdom, I figured out, rather than fool with a Tiger 60, which is point and shoot, I'll need to get some experience on a 4-stroke. So I bought a 56 4-stroke, Sato 56 4-stroke, and broke it in and set the timing. Well, set the rockers on it, and got that thing making some power, and put it in this little Stunt Fire, and took it out to fly. I think I had 6 flights on it when I went to pull a hard wing over, and the fuselage snapped in half. The plane just about folded back on itself and then hit the ground still running. I think it spun around one time before it hit the ground still running. I was in such shock to see the plane just burst into pieces in midair at about 4 feet high. I didn't know what to think. But I came home with a box full of parts. The wing's perfect, but right behind the wing, the fuselage just shattered. I got talking to Randy Smith, who's the one who turned me on to this design anyway. He said, "Oh no, you got to put some spruce or something stringers in. A few of those 4 or 5 of them stringers in there. If 5 or 6 of those stringers in there. I think he said, got to be spruce or something. Well, now you tell me. So wing's still up in the attic, but I don't know if I'll ever put it back together or not. It was a nice airplane for the 4 or 5 flights I got on it. It sure made making a 4-stroke run seem very simple. Fired the darn thing up and flew it. It did beautiful. Flew slow, flew steady, did everything it was supposed, everything you wanted it to do. I was really getting tickled with it. I thought Saturday morning I'm gonna take this thing out and let Tommy and the guys see it and think it's my first flight with it, and then put a pattern on it. And then it exploded. Dadgummit.
Hmm.
Vicky and I just had to go over and pick up a bunch of pieces and put them in the bag, bring it home.
Plans didn't say anything about it.
No,
No.
no, they don't say nothing about make these spruce, but I got notes on the plans now. I made a guy a copy of the plans and took them to him, but I told and sent them to him. But I told him in the footnotes on the thing, be sure 6 of these longerons are spruce, 8th by 8th. I think it's 8th by 8th spruce. Because if you build it with balsa, I promise you it'll fail. Mine did.
Should have had monocoated the airplane, then be bagged up for you already.
Yeah, just could have brought it home in a plastic bag. That'd have been a cool idea. I'm not much of a monocoat guy. My Stinger is monocoat. The wings are monocoated. And I think I've got one other stunner that's got monocoat on it. But they are from 30 years ago. I just don't like monocoat.
It's junk now anyway. It's nowhere near as good as it used to be.
Yeah, I thought it was junk in the old days.
Yeah, it is. It's good for a quick build.
I got a friend who still flies sailplanes. And I went down to Charlotte a few weeks ago. He's got a brand new sailplane he just built with Econocoat. And I mean, I went down and took pictures of it. That thing was gorgeous. He put it up on a launch and overtaxed the wing a little bit, I thought. The wing looked like, I said, you better back off, that wing's starting to flutter. Well, it didn't come apart. Usually when they flutter, you hear them go, and then you see just an explosion. This one didn't do that. It looked like it was fluttering going up, but it didn't come apart. But he landed that thing, and the monocoat it looked like it was a size 4 wing and a size 6 sack. Everything was loose and it had stretched the monocoat all the way out.
Hmm.
So we didn't fly it anymore that day. Took it home and tightened everything up. Then put it all back together. Took it out the field the next day and put it up again. And he said the next day he didn't try to do a zoom launch on it. He just put a launch on it, which is what he should have done the first time. But Steve is he's a little hard headed. But anyway, he put it up. He said he got a 1-hour flight on it on his 3rd flight. So it's a good airplane. I knew the design worked well way back when. Called a Vildu. It's one I built many, many years ago. And I always loved it. He finally built him one.
A mildew?
Vill, Vildu.
I thought it said mildew.
Like it will do.
Mhm.
No, it's got 3 terraces in the wings, and it's an old God, I forgot what the wings originally were. But anyway, this thing, it whistles. You bring it down by you, taking it down 50 feet to turn and come back on final. It whistles, and it's got top and bottom spoilers in it. So when you pop the spoilers, the darn thing just looks like you hit, well, they're air brakes. And it just comes down just right now. It comes down like a modern plane does when it's got the flaps go up and flaps go down and the ailerons go up. And this thing comes down just about as good as that does. That's called Crow Mix, and it works really well. That's what the full house planes do now. Most of them. Sparky, you don't bush that?
Does that not look bushed?
Oh, okay. I see it now. I couldn't see it before. Your fingers was wrapped around it.
Yeah, I bush things.
We had a fella here built an All-American senior and did not bush that. I kept telling him, you need to bush it. He said, well, I already got it together. Now I didn't know it. I've never bushed one before. I don't think he'd ever had one last 500 flights. But he put 530 flights on this thing, and I thought I would have bet money the nylon bell crank would have worn through, the steel cable would have worn through the bell crank. Other way around, the bell crank wore through the steel cable and the cable broke. And I had somebody argue me about that the other day. I said, well, come over to my house and show me your money, because I've still got the airplane in the basement. Because I didn't believe it. I put the plane, what was left of it, on the wall, and I still got it. I can show you the bell crank's still intact and the cable is cut in two.
Well, I tell you, this bell crank ear breaking off. I don't think I'll ever use another sick bell crank.
Well, I don't think I will either now. I'd like to get a hold of some more of the ones Wendy used to sell, but I can't find though. I got one left, I think. One, maybe two left. Got one in my ombre, and I'm gonna put one in the P-47. But then I'm out of them. I don't know what I'll put in the second P-47, because Dan said he's not gonna do it, I don't think.
Danny is not making them commercially.
Yeah. That's a shame. He'll make some for you though.
I got my own mold. I can make them.
Ah,
I am not making any commercially.
yeah, it's like handles were there for years. Somebody will come up with them. Somebody will have to start making them, or we're going to be in a heap of trouble.
Well, this is hard enough to do outside the airplane.
Oh, I know what you mean. I replaced the ones in the lead outs in the ombre. Remember when Wendy had about 3 airplanes in a month go in because his lead outs had kept breaking? Well, I had bought lead out wire from him, solid wire from him, and Tom Looper put it in his ombre, and I put it in my ombre, and then I just kept thinking, good night, baby. I said, I can't risk this. I got too much money in this airplane to risk these cables breaking. And then Bob Hunt lost 2 airplanes in a couple of weeks to solid lead outside. Oh no, never happened again. So I went and bought golden wire and cut a hole in the bottom of the wing and changed the wire in the bell crank through a 4-inch hole. And I'm telling you what, if you think that wasn't hard, let me challenge you to try it sometime. It was fun. I don't ever want to do it again. I'll put it that way.
I won't use solid lead outs, because at the wingtip, if you bump it into something, you bend them, you're sunk.
Yeah. That's true too. I'll never use them again, but at that time, that's what everybody was using. And, I went to the Nats and saw what everybody was using. That's what everybody was using at the time. And I said, well, if that's what they're using, that's what I'll use. No, I don't do that anymore. I do it my way now.
Somebody jumped off a bridge. Would you follow him?
No, but seemed like the thing to do at the time. But I've discovered a better way now. I've even found out what that wire is, and you don't have to buy it from SIG. You can go to the hardware store and buy it.
What? The lead out?
Lead out wire, golden wire, like SIG sold.
I buy this. I'm using Jack Sheep's wire now, but it's fishing leader. I've always used fishing leader.
Yeah. When we went to SIG, I saw the golden wire, the big spool of golden wire back there on the machine that pulled the stuff off the spool, measured it, rolled it, and put a thing on it where somebody could put it in a little plastic bag. The machine didn't put it in the bag, but it put it in little rolls like this, that golden wire, and it was coming off a spool. So I went over there and took my telephone, looked at my telephone, put it to camera, and took a picture of the end of that spool. I said, dadgummit, I've seen that before. So I came home, went to my local Ace Hardware, and there it was. 5,000-foot roll. I mean, a big old roll. Farmers use it for electric fence. I thought they used solid piece of wire, but then no, they use this stuff now. So anyway, I bought about 100 feet of it. I got plenty of golden wire downstairs.
I bought this lead out wire from Jack Sheets at the Nats, 300 foot for $5. 80
Oh,
pound
man.
test.
That was a steal.
Yeah.
Jack did a lot of stuff though, just to help the other modelers. He was an interesting fella.
Hi, Ed.
Evening, everybody.
Hey, Ed, how are you? I got you.
Doing fine. My man cave clock was an hour behind.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Uh-oh. Somebody forgot
I
to
went to
set
get a
the clock.
drink and it's like, oh my golly, it's already almost 9.
Mm. Uh-huh. Got your email today, I think it was. Yesterday or today
Oh, okay.
with the flyer.
Yeah.
It's,
I'm gonna try to show it tonight at some point in time to see if I could still remember how to do that.
yeah, Mama done put it on our big calendar, so we're
Okay.
planning on coming.
Well, working on a special Friday night dinner too,
Good deal.
where Victoria will be there. Just having a talk with us, and if we want to ask questions or she can tell stories and that. That's Victoria Yeager.
Yeah.
And that. So
Yeah, she's got some interesting stories to tell.
yeah, and that. So
Chuck was an interesting man.
yep.
Go ahead.
When I was at the embassy in Pakistan, he would come in hunting, and I just missed meeting him twice and stuff. And they had a U-8 aircraft for him to fly for the embassy, and the Indians shot it up.
Oh,
And so then they put in a King Air 200, which they call a C-12, and I was the second guy rotation in there with that aircraft and stuff. So we had a little bit of talk about Islamabad and stuff. It was kind of cool. Had some things in common.
Were you an officer in the Air Force, Ed?
No, sir. E4 retired.
Interesting.
Chuck was interesting though. I talked to him at the Winston Air Show. He said, I've been shot at, shot up, and shot down. And I don't recommend none of them. He was
Were you air crew, Ed?
Air Force, yeah.
Were you air crew though?
No, F4, F105, heavy maintenance, crash recovery.
Uh-huh.
And that. So if it needed flight control rigging or engine changes, things like that, that was me.
So you're ADJ.
Okay. I guess that's the Navy version.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep, I realized that I don't think I'm working on airplanes. I have owned airplanes and I've got about 90 hours of pilot and command, but I never finished it. And I've flown a King Air twin, which is a twin turboprop, the T6 that I helped my buddy rebuild, and a bunch of Pipers, Cessnas, and Grummins.
I just was watching a video on a King Air where the lady's husband died, and she didn't have any time in it. She had to land it. She got it on the ground. Did a good job.
Yeah, I saw the video of that.
Yeah.
That was impressive.
Well, that's what they used me in Pakistan for off the records. Although I was able to get it in my logbook. We had to medevac a pilot over to Tehran out of Islamabad, and it was kind of like, geez, what happens if we have an emergency? So that's what they took me out there and had me, fly it, and not much on the takeoff other than after rotation, you got it, and then just before landing, the flare and stuff.
Well,
So they want,
I have zero flight time, zero, but I'll bet that I could get it on the ground.
yeah, yeah. We have the simulator over at the school and stuff, and I pay for my techs to go do to the simulator because the teachers will do run taxi training for me. So, in other words, they'll act like they'll pick an airport and act like it, and they'll tell them to proceed to cross runway so and so, but yet an airplane's landing. So it's to see if they catch, the possibility of an incursion or an accident. And so that's pretty cool. Now for the expo, we've got through the school, Fairmont State College, we've got a F-18 simulator that you wear your first person view to fly it.
Wow.
And my understanding is it's pretty good and pretty realistic. So
I'm
that's
coming.
going to be there for guys and girls to try.
Well, at the Air Force Museum, they have a flight simulator for the space shuttle,
Uh-huh.
Oh man.
and I landed that. Perfect landing, no bounce, no nothing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great.
The guy said, I ain't never seen that before. I fly model airplane. That's what I told him.
Well, I'll tell you what, it really helped me flying, control line and RC, and then learning to fly while I was in the Air Force, a Cessna 150, and I took some aerobatic instructions in a Citabria and stuff.
That's
So,
fun.
yeah, my first takeoff in a Citabria wasn't the prettiest. And I said, I got full right rudder, but it had heel brakes, and I was used to toe brakes and stuff. So I didn't have a sense of feel on how much heel brake I was giving it and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah. Guys, I gotta take the dog out. I'll be back in a little bit.
Hey Ed, how you doing,
Sir,
buddy?
good.
I heard you guys talking about King Airs. I was watching on YouTube. I got about 300 jumps out of King Airs on a drop zone, and
Oh,
and
wow.
I have a very sad story about a King Air too. I watched a King Air jump plane crash with 10 of my friends on it, and killed all
Oh,
of them.
geez.
Yeah, Marine City, Michigan, 2000. No, it wasn't 2000. It would have been 98 or 99.
Oh,
Uh,
wow.
Took off and he stalled it on takeoff, rolled over, killed all 10 people on board.
Oh, man. Yeah, you got to watch it. I had to go on some test flights with some of my customers over in the Philippines, and there's such a thing as single engine controllability. So, you can take off at say 100 knots. I don't remember the numbers, but for single engine takeoff, you better be at like 120, 130, because if you lose an engine, you've got the speed for control and stuff.
Yeah, the
And
crazy thing was we went to this other drop zone in Michigan for a pig roast weekend, and we jumped that plane all day Friday. My group of people that went there, we stayed up too late, drank too much beer, and slept in. And
Yeah.
the first load Saturday morning, very first load at 7 a.m., the plane
Oh,
crashed
man.
and killed everybody on board.
So it was probably a King Air 90.
Oh man, I don't even remember. It wasn't the T-tail. It
Okay.
wasn't the later model. The 200, I think, is the later
Oh, it
model.
was the 200 had the T-tail.
Right. It was not a T-tail.
Yeah, so it was
a 90.
probably a 90, because I see an awful lot of those converted and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, it's a
And
shame.
then on a side note with the King Air, as long as we're talking about airplanes, my wife's cousin Gerald was a Black Hawk helicopter pilot for over 25 years in the Air National Guard. And
Wow, that's great.
when he aged out on helicopters, they put him in a King Air, and he was doing electronic countermeasure missions in Afghanistan in a 200. In a 200 over there. He got sent to Afghanistan for 2 years. And he actually gave us a flag that was flown on a mission over there,
Oh, that's great.
back then anyway. But
Yeah, that's great. Of course, I was fighters in the Air Force mechanic, but I did take a job with Beach when they did the 200 King Air 200 program and called it the C-12. And so I did that for 11 years, in different places in the world. And that was it was pretty interesting. I was attached to the Army in Korea, and then the Navy at Point Mugu, California, and Air Force at Clark Air Base, and the embassy in Pakistan and the embassy in Manila, Philippines.
yeah, the C-12, I believe that's what Gerald was flying over there in Afghanistan. So crazy. Good deal.
Yeah. And I did, and I can tell people that I was a Marine for 2 hours is what I try to tell them. And that over in Pakistan for the Marine birthday, I sat embassy guard duty, so they had that day off for the party and stuff. So that was nice to be able to help the Marines like that. And I left Pakistan, and about I think 10, 11 months later, one of my buddy Marines was killed when they burnt the embassy down, and the pilot that replaced the pilot that was with me was killed and stuff. And then I had a couple of friends that had to jump out of the window. And of course, I had several friends over in Tehran that were hostages.
Oh my goodness. Storied career you have there, Ed. Thank you for
Uh,
your service.
you're welcome. Well, and you too, and stuff. So, it's time to give back, and that's why I'm trying to do it with the kids and stuff.
And you're up there with the Aviation Expo in West Virginia, correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Just hours south of Brodak.
Sam and I, that's on our list every year. We put it on the calendar every year, and we would love to come there. Because I know Mark is there and Will goes up there, and they've invited us to come up there and fly some combat. They want us to fly some combat.
Oh, I would love that.
It never seems to fit in our calendar to get up there and do it. So
yeah. Well, it's August 8th and 9th.
8th and 9th. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead and send me your email here, and I'll send you a flyer and stuff. And I don't know if you heard, but I got Victoria Yeager coming in to help support it.
Oh, that's awesome.
And we're going to have a special, working on a special dinner that Friday night. It's a Friday and a Saturday because the ones that come in from out of town like the Sunday to just travel back and wake up when they want to.
Yeah, I have the flyer already. I'm signed up on your Facebook page. So
okay.
I know when it is, and we put it on the calendar every year. It's just it conflicts with other stuff sometimes.
I can understand that.
We'll get up there one year. I promise you. We'll get up there one year.
Yeah. That'd be great. I'd love to have you and stuff.
What'd you do in the Navy, Mike? I forgot.
I was an operations specialist. I worked up in CIC in the Combat Information Center. Back in the old days, they called it radar men, but then when I was in, it was called OS. So we did all the navigation for the ship, and also talked to all the air traffic and stuff. We were scope dopes, man. We looked at radar screens and we tracked surface contacts, air contacts, and when we were working with submarines, we knew where the subs were. I was on an anti-submarine warfare platform. I was on a fast frigate. We had ASROCs and torpedoes and that kind of stuff. We were sub hunter is what we were. So
yeah, wow.
What'd you do, Sparky?
I was an AMS.
You were an AMS. Okay.
Aviation structural mechanic, painter of gray.
Hell, we were all painters of gray in the Navy, man.
They put me in charge of corrosion control.
Okay. All right. Right on.
Crud crew.
Crud crew.
I really liked it when I was at Miramar because we worked 4 10-hour days, so we had 3 days off. I never wore a uniform. I wore that green jumpsuit. I never wore my non-spark shoes. I always wore engineer boots. I just painted them black, and it was great. Wore my Levi's underneath it.
Well, I'm going to mute myself and I'm cleaning up some fast combat motors, some
Okay.
Nelson 36s, getting those ready to go for the year. So
Did you get your
uh,
other one running?
I did. I was waiting
Good.
for. I was hoping Joe Gilbert was going to come on and Len. So about 30 seconds after we signed off, the last time I was on, I got that rear bearing race out of that case. Yes,
That's
uh,
good.
it took a village, man, for sure. I was changing bearings in a half A combat motor, and the fronts came. All of them came out great except one motor. The inner race and the bearings fell out, and the outer race was stuck in the case. And it's a half A motor, so it's very tiny. We were trying to think of all different kinds of ways to get this damn thing out of there. And finally, Lenny was like, make a Dremel cutting disc small enough to fit in there and cut some ridges in each side of the race and see if you can use a pick to pull them out. Well, that didn't work. And he's like, turn the case over and bolt the case down and then use the picks to drive them out backwards. And we were all on here at, I don't know, 1:30, 2 o'clock in the morning. It was pretty late. But we had a gallery going as I was working on this. And just about the time everybody signed off, I went dink, and that rear race just popped right out. So it takes a village sometimes to get stuff done, man. But we got it, and the motor's put back together, and I've already run it. It's great. So now I'm working on the fast combat stuff. I'm getting all that stuff cleaned up. So I'm gonna mute because I'll be making noise, but I'm here listening, guys.
Where did Steve go? Oh, no.
Real Steve Smith. Yeah, he's here.
What is the real Steve Smith doing? You got yourself muted, Steve.
That was for everyone else's benefit.
Oh,
I was just listening. I was just listening.
Missed you Friday.
Yeah, I wasn't feeling great and the blues were on, so I didn't have multitasking energy.
well, the other Steve Smith is watching from a.
Yeah, he texted me, said he was sick.
Yeah, not feeling well.
Sick and tired of being sick and tired.
I forget, what do they call these rings you put on the front of the engine? Or
Nose
the
ring?
sorry, fuselage.
Nose ring.
That's it.
That's it.
They go on the front of your fuselage and your motor goes through. Is there a
Right.
funny?
Right. And it's plywood, right?
Yep. What's it called?
Backing plate.
Nose ring.
Nose ring. Is that it? Okay.
That's it.
That's it. Okay.
I was one of the people on here cheering Mike on in the middle of the night.
Well, I was going to tell him that I didn't see it, so sometimes you can get bearing races out with grease, and you think that sounds stupid, but you can hydraulic them out with grease. You pack it full of grease and then compress that down, and sometimes it depends on how. I didn't see it, so I don't know whether it'll work or not.
Did he try? I forgot to ask him. Did he try penetrating fluid? I would
He
think.
tried it. I mean, he tried anything that your common
Anything.
sense would think of
Did
3 times.
he use mouse milk?
I don't know.
I'll
Yeah,
have to
all
ask
kinds
him.
of stuff.
One of these days, I'll have to ask him.
I used Aerocroil. I soaked it in
Okay,
penetrating
good.
fluid so all the other ones I did 6, and every one of them I just heated the case, slapped it on the hardwood, and the whole bearing fell out. I had one that when I did that, the inner race and the bearings fell out. The outer race was stuck. And
Yeah.
Joe Gilbert suggested soaking it and then trying it. So I did that. That didn't work. He
Wow.
also suggested putting it in the freezer and then bringing it out and heating the case and whacking it, and maybe that would do it. That didn't do it.
Wow.
So then the next step was going to be maybe use a bearing puller, an outer race bearing puller, but I could not find one small enough to fit, because we're talking about a
Yeah.
half A case, right? They make all kinds of outer race pullers that, you know, you can
Yeah.
put them in there, spread them out, and just kind of knock it out. So then Len was the one who suggested to, like I said, make a sanding disc small enough. So I got out a big piece of music wire and ground down a sanding disc that was small enough to fit inside the case. And I just cut 2 little grooves, one on each side.
Yeah.
And then the picks were able to get in there. And that's how we did it. That's how we ended up doing it. So
Jeez.
Lenny had the idea, man. Lenny was the winner chicken dinner on the idea for sure.
You owe him a beer.
I do. I do.
Yeah, someday Steve will get over here and finish his airplane. He's pretty close. It should be ready for this season. When he started it at the end of 23, I said, yeah, about 25, you'll have it done. Hey,
Oh,
Roy,
Spark.
Here's the question.
Sorry.
What's going to be finished first, Steve's airplane or that twister you started?
probably the twister. And what were you going to ask me, Ed?
No, I was going to say thank you in regards to, I never knew there were 40 and 50 and 60-aught sandpaper. And I had to do some aggressive sanding. And boy, I got that stuff. And boy, it worked great, other than trying to cut my fingers open.
I use 24.
Oh, my golly.
24.
And gloves, and gloves, then I take it.
No, if you got to move a lot of material, you don't want to be sanding for months. So I
Yep.
use 24, 36, just keep going up.
Yeah. Wow.
All the way
But
up
yeah.
to 5,000. Pretty simple.
But that's one of the benefits, as much as I've done woodworking and stuff, I never messed with real thick, rough sandpaper. And when you said that, it was like, huh, my rasp that I had wasn't doing very good, and my 80 grit was taking too long. And so let me check the internet to see if they have it before I get in the car. And sure enough.
Well, the coarsest sandpaper I've seen is 24, but
Oh, man.
they probably make coarser. The trick with sanding with that rough of paper is to know when to stop, because if you grind into it, that you can't take, the next grit can't take those scratches out, and that's all you're trying to do. Is just when you're polishing metal, sanding metal, you sand it smooth, and then you got all these scratches, so you get a finer grit, and you sand out, and you scratches less and less and less until you get to 5,000 and buff it.
Yeah. When we painted our aircraft and we had to get rid of the runs, that was interesting, working on that, on the runs and stuff,
Let me tell you how to get runs out every time.
Pepto-Bismol.
No, get yourself some 2-part polyester. You sell in automotive stores. It's polyester spot putty. So here's your running this way. Take a bundle spreader and spread it on both sides of that run. Then take a block with 600 grit sandpaper and plenty of water, and then you sand all that.
Oh.
Then you sand all that putty off, and when you get the putty off, the run's gone. Otherwise, if you don't do it with the putty, you'll sand the paint off on one side or both of that run.
Well, we did it with 1,200 and a lot of water and a lot of doggone time, but we were able to do it. So
did you get it? Did you use the putty or no?
No, we didn't.
Yeah. And see, if you want to get it off quick, use that putty, and then you just.
Oh, that would have been great.
you block sand it until all that putty's gone, and then stop.
Yeah.
Just before the putty's gone, stop, and
Yeah.
then get it all, and then buff it.
Yep. Yeah, well. I got a question for you guys and stuff. And I just experimented with a bell crank here. And what I did, can you see where I put a little brass bushing where you would normally have a control rod?
Yeah.
Is that acceptable to do it where you hook up your up and down lines? And you do that only, or just stick with the tube
You
in
see how?
there?
No, just
Yeah.
stick tube.
Okay, because that's what I did, but I was wondering about doing that because I had a little bit of a interference fit, but I was able to take care of it by redoing everything. But this was one of my options, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't think I'll do it, but I'll ask about it. Okay, appreciate that.
What type of bell crank is that? Sig?
I think it just probably a Brodak, whatever they're made out of.
Well, am I gonna
And then
be?
I looked at some of the other ones that I had that were from Oki and things like that, and it's like, yep, everybody's just doing the brass tubing or copper.
Yeah, if this works, I'll be happy. Okay. That's it. That'd be it.
We got a Roy Lane in with us.
Hey, how's everybody?
Good.
We're good.
I get this done, I can put this puppy back together, and tomorrow I can cover it and paint it.
And we had great weather here today. No wind, 60 and a couple degrees, about 66. It was nice. And it's supposed to be 70s tomorrow.
It was 74 here, but there was some wind.
Yeah.
But I got my park permit, so I'm good to go. I gave that lady a piece of my mind.
Yeah, you pay all the taxes and stuff, and then they try to give you a hard time.
Well, it looks like I'm going to be a human clamp.
Did you have something to show, Ed?
I was just going to try to show the flyer.
Oh.
Let's see here. Let me just see if I remember right. I've already opened it, so I got to minimize you guys, I think.
Nope, it'll do it itself. Just hit the share button and then choose the open window that you want to share.
All right, stand by. I got to get back to that screen.
We're standing.
Okay. For some reason, you're minimized. Okay, there we go. Hit the share. And now I got to find it.
You got to have the window open before
I opened it before I dialed in to you guys.
Is it still open?
Yeah, it is, but I got to get to that screen.
Right.
All right. Let me try what I used to do before. Let me see if it works. I'm going to minimize you guys. It looks like it didn't keep it open. It looks like it closed it. No, there it is. Okay. How's that?
Nope.
You don't see
Yeah.
it? Okay. Let me go back now and hit share. How's that?
Nope.
No.
What do you mean no?
There, coming.
I had to double click on it.
There you go.
There you
Yeah.
go.
All right. I wanted to make sure I could do that. But anyway, here's the flyer for the expo in August 8th and 9th and stuff.
Where is it at?
Bridgeport, West Virginia, an hour south of Brodak.
I'll be there in 10 minutes.
Yeah. 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 And that. So, anyway, I was delayed in getting this out because I wanted to confirm with Victoria Yeager in regards to her participation and stuff. So she agreed to it and agreed to what I drew up about the general and her and stuff. So anyway,
So
all
you got
righty.
wing nuts on there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Wing nuts. We're the ones putting it on
Uh-huh.
out of St. Mary's, West Virginia.
Yeah.
The RC field, now control line field, also is 800 foot by almost 200 wide, just as level as can be. And we roll it and keep it cut really low.
Yeah,
And
it's a nice. I've been there.
yeah.
Nice field. Yeah.
And that's so, okay. Anyway, let me get back out of that. All right. So I have to put you minimize, then I have to click on my photo. And then when I get to that one screen, I see it there. I had to double click and then it went to you. So it just seems like each time I try to do it, it's a different process. And it had been a while since I had tried one. Did I? Oh shoot, what's it called? I was looking on YouTube and some guy, I think he goes by Nitty Gritty, had a new software for wing design and stuff out of Europe, which is supposedly very user friendly. Shoot, oh, I don't have my phone here. I was going to try to look it up. We were talking. Daggone.
My wing design is Red Wing.
Yeah. That's neat the way he does it. Yeah.
Is that pen and paper?
Red Wing.
Anyway.
That's a software, huh?
No, it's
No.
hardware. My boot.
Yeah. Ed, have you ever been to Wally's? They're in West
Twice.
West. Okay.
2 years ago, and it has just turned into so much 3D.
Yeah.
You know, I like flying scale and standoff scale and stuff, RC, and then the first time I went, many years ago, I didn't like the barbed wire fence. I didn't like the runway, but I didn't like big airplanes crashing right next to you in tents through tents, and that was before 2.4. So that really kept me away from that for a while. Just like one time I went to jets in Florida. I was at a Sikorsky helicopter course and had the weekend, so I went to the jet thing. And, here's these 150, 200 mile an hour jets before 2.4 zipping up and down the runway, about 15 feet from you. And I walked up and down the flight line and it's like, I'm out of here. I'm not waiting for one of those to have a glitch. But the last time at Wally Squadron, nicer the runway. They really did a lot to improve it, and a good crowd and stuff. But once again, though, it's just mostly 3D flying and stuff.
I think the last time we was there, it rained the night before. So I mean, it was just
Oh
sloppy all
gosh,
over the place. Oh, it was,
yep.
yeah. Even that big tent where they had all the models in there, you go look at, it was all flooded in there.
Oh yeah. Oh, and that place, I remember several times where if we had heavy rains, that Summersville area, that whole area floods and stuff. So, but yeah, no desire to go back this year.
Yeah.
They got mad about 3 years ago because my event was the same as their event. And so they called up Mark Radcliffe complaining. And he says, well, did you read what he's doing? He said, it's a youth expo. Yours is not a youth expo. This guy was like, oh, I apologize and stuff. But yeah, I was like, and originally when I did it year one, Mark and I talked about that. I was like, this is the same as Wally Squadron, but this is the only time frame they'll give me. And he says, well, but Wally Squadron is, everybody coming in with the 3D stuff. And it's like, yeah. So we did it, and it worked out pretty good. Need to go to a swap meet and get some more stuff. Geez, I got so much stuff hanging around. I want to get offload some of the stuff that I won't build. A lot of the bigger RC stuff is just too much of a hassle to put stuff together and get it out there and put it back, put it together, take it apart, put it together, take it apart. And anything I fly RC now fits in the car ready to go, and preferably electric and control line. Well, heck, I could take 2 or 3 that are assembled and ready to go. And
I feel your struggle, Ed, with that. My kid is getting into bigger 3D stuff, and
yeah.
I have to buy a trailer because
Oh, well, I sold mine.
yeah,
I mean, but just think, from my basement out to the car, you get there, you put it together, and me with bad knees and stuff over the last 6 years, I've had both knees replaced, and now my ankle 6 months ago. So it was just a hassle.
yeah.
And then I said nothing bigger than 20 cc. And now I'm saying electric, that'll be all together.
Yeah, when we started doing RC hardcore a few years ago, it was easy to throw 6 3D foamies and some warbirds, the E-flite
Yep.
stuff. But he's getting into bigger. I got 2 67-inch 3D planes there I picked up at Perry last week.
Yeah.
And we also have a third scale 111 cc 3D plane. We got a 110-inch 150 3D plane that we're going to get going. I can't even put one in my truck with the cap on it. So a trailer is in our future for sure.
Yep. And it makes it pretty nice, and that, and on how you can get stuff in there and tie it down and have what you need and stuff.
Yeah, with control line models, it's easy. You can put 3 stunners in a truck and 20 combat planes in the back if you need to. It's not our issue with control line. It's the RC stuff.
Well, and
running out of room.
At least you got somebody young helping you. That's the thing and stuff. We just can't. My son is a big fisherman. He can fly RC, control line very little. And he's so busy that, you have to pick what do you really want to do when you have some time off and stuff. So.
I want to quantify your statement, though. You said, at least I have someone young helping me. Is he
Yeah.
helping me though with the amount of crashing he does and the repairs that I have to do?
Well,
Is that
he
really
pick-
helping me?
he picks up the pieces.
Yeah, I'm knee deep in repairs all the time, man, you know. But it's fun. It's what we do and it's our jam,
Yeah.
you know. Control on combat's always going to be number one, top of the list for us. And then I
Yeah.
would say stunt is a close second for me, but we're really into the RC stuff a lot too now. So
Well,
as long as it's toy airplanes, it's all fun, you know.
yeah, and I agree with Joe Gilbert had to say in regards to free flight indoors. I mean, it's just amazing to me what it takes to make something like that fly. And of course, the lighter
Yeah.
you get, the harder it is.
The lighter you get. Hey, we do that too. We do hand launch gliders. We do catapult gliders. I've
Yep.
got some stick and tissue rubber stuff. Now we don't compete with that stuff. I build stuff to take to Muncie. So at the campground we can send up a stick and tissue rubber and watch it go for a minute, minute and a half or whatever.
Yeah.
All that
So
stuff's fun. It's all fun, you know.
yeah. Yep. And I'm trying to get more kids involved because that's more affordable, and stuff. I mean, when I got my first RC radio, Proportional just came out, and it was like $400 in the '60s.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I paid my dad helped me, and I paid 105 for a reed set, and that
Yeah.
everybody's getting rid of.
When the first craft radios came out in the 70s, it was like $700 for a 4-channel RC.
Yeah,
set.
4-channel.
And Jim Kraft was from Farmington, Michigan. He was right down the road from where I grew up. We knew Jim Kraft,
Oh,
but it
wow.
was stupid money. And
Yeah.
back then, control line was super cheap. You
Yep.
got a Ringmaster kit from the hobby shop for $7, and a Fox 35 was $11 or something, and you were in business.
Yeah. That's why for the expo, I try to provide everything for the kids. They all leave with something. And the whole idea is you don't have to ask your parents for any money. You just gotta have somebody help or them help you and stuff. So just to try to get the bug in them. I had a meeting with a representative from the government in West Virginia on the school system last Thursday, and they're developing a aerospace program for middle and high school. And the whole idea is for middle school, it's a very, very basic general, and they want to cover anything to do with aviation, like airport management, flying, maintenance, whatever it is. And then when you go into high school, then you can go more detailed into possibly what you might be interested in.
That's
And
great.
also at our high school right now, you can do your junior and senior year if you're picked and start your airframe and power plant mechanics license. So when you get out of high school, you only have like one more semester to finish everything.
Chief Fred.
So it's pretty nice to see.
Yeah, I'm gonna get ready. I gotta get to bed. Gotta go to work
Oh.
tomorrow.
Oh,
That's no good.
That daggone work keeps getting in the way.
yeah. Hey, Sparky,
Yeah,
you got another
Have a good
super
night,
stat.
guys.
I did.
Yes.
Okay.
And a combat kid wants to know what engine Mike's are cleaning.
The combat kid would be my son. That's Sam. And
That's-
he's in North Carolina right now with my wife and daughter. They're on spring break.
Oh,
I'm on dad break this week. The wife and kids are in North Carolina for the week. I'm on dad break. So he's watching on YouTube. Sam, I'm cleaning Nelson 36s is what I'm cleaning.
Yeah, and Sammy said you're a good pilot,
Yeah.
regardless.
Yeah, you're talking about that AMP program for juniors and seniors, Ed. Can I send Sam to you for the next 2 years to live with you and attend that program?
you
'Cause
know,
we don't have anything like that here in high school.
it's funny you say that because we're looking at trying to help out paying somebody's way through. You know, in other words, we'll pay your 2 years, but you got to give us a 2-year commitment.
Right.
But what we're doing is the AMP school, which is right behind me. Anybody that's interested contacts them, and then we interview and go through their resumes and stuff. But yeah, we do. We can do some shadowing during the summertime to where they can't really turn wrenches because of our customer requirements. But you
Yeah.
know, they can have exposure to it and things like that, and see what the guys are doing and say like, you know what, I think I'm really interested in this, or I don't know.
Thank you,
Well, getting
Don
them in,
Holder. Thank you for the super chat, Don. Gotta get that
getting them into modeling is a great way to get them into careers in aviation for sure. So
Yep.
modeling the whether it's RC, control line, free flight, whatever. If they're
Well,
building toy airplanes, they may want to go on and do it with the real ones, you know.
You're so far ahead of anybody else. I mean, we've got guys in the A&P school here that never used wrenches before
Oh my goodness.
and don't know how to read a caliper,
A caliper,
micrometer.
yeah. Oh my gosh.
So it sounds like when Northrop, I used to work also on T-38s, and my old squadron commander retired and was over in Daharan teaching F5 maintenance. And, you know, the F5 and the T-38 pretty much the same, just about. And he wanted me to quit my job and come over there. And it was basically you know, lefty loosey, righty tighty, and here's the screwdriver and all that stuff. It's like, oh my golly. Yeah, too bad you aren't closer and stuff. Or maybe if he wants to come by and stay a few days, to put him up in a hotel and hang out.
Well, I know he's got airplanes on the brain for sure. Any type of model airplane. I don't know if that'll translate into a career for him or not, but
Right.
you don't know. You got to expose them to everything and figure out what's going to stick with them, you know.
Well, that's funny because that's what we've been trying to tell the Department of Education and some of the companies, and that's why the program is broad and show them a little bit about everything, and then hopefully it'll enable them to make a decision on what they're more interested in and go forward with it.
Yeah. Modeling's a great stepping stone for all that.
Yep. And you put yourself ahead of a lot of people.
Well, you don't realize it when you build a model as a kid. You learn how to read a ruler. You know, you learn how to measure. You learn how to use simple hand tools. You know, even something as simple as an X-Acto knife. You learn how to make a good cut in a piece of balsa with an X-Acto knife. You learn how to use sandpaper and.
You should see me doing those kids with doing projects like that, and I got to worry about them. Are they going to cut themselves? Or I don't let them use super glue. I'll let them use gel super glue.
Yeah, let them stick an X-Acto knife through the webbing in their thumb, man. We've all done it when we were kids, and we lived.
Yeah,
we lived.
Yeah, yeah. We don't want to send them on over to mamby-pamby land.
Sparky, what are you cutting a bell crank out of? I'm sure you said, but I missed it.
This is my Viper profile, and the bell crank broke. The horn broke right off the bell crank. So I had to replace the bell crank. It has one flight on it.
Did it crash when it broke?
No. Okay, how it happened was I got one flight on this airplane, and I was doing something. I don't know. I can't remember exactly what I was doing, but I was moving the flaps, and then I heard tink, and the bell crank, the where the push rod goes in, just broke right off.
Holy cow.
So I saved an airplane from hitting the ground.
Nice.
What was the other one made out of?
Whatever SIG makes their bell cranks out of.
Huh.
Nylon,
Yeah.
whatever it is. But it won't happen with this. This is carbon fiber, so it ain't happening again.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I poked a hole right here on top of the wing, monkeying around with it. So I got to fix that. Oh, I know what I was doing. I put another 2 coats of clear on it, and I said, oh, you know, because it didn't quite have enough clear on it, so I put a couple more coats on it because it's going to be nose heavy. And as I was monkeying with it here, I just started moving the lead outs and pink, it broke. There we go.
Sorry about that.
All right.
All compressors have a little bleed and then they kick off if you forget to turn the switch off, I guess.
Mine's in the house. Yeah, when it goes up, if it ever goes up, which it has once in the middle of the night, that'll wake you up.
I bet your wife loves that, man.
Oh yeah. I you know, turn it off now, unplug it or whatever. Oh shit! I got a bender right here. Let me use the bender.
Mike, I sent you a link in case your son wants to look at the company.
Absolutely. Yeah. I'll have him look at it.
Okay.
I'm glad to see you back with us, Ed, tonight.
Yeah, it's been crazy, and that I apologize. It's a lot of different things going on, and still trying to move better and stuff. And but I always watch it one way or another, whether it's in bed watching a replay or and stuff. But yeah, it's nice to sit here and listen to everybody live. Oh, Gary, FYI, I don't know if you saw Mark Radcliffe flew his what do you call it? Chipmunk today, control line.
Oh, we did.
Yeah, he test
Oh,
flew it today. Test flew it today.
all right.
Said he loves it.
Okay. That's good to see him get back into it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
First time we flew one, I brought one out there and we flew one and we just started laughing so hard because, you know, it just was something that we did many, many years ago and forgot how much we liked it. They got a high school here has a RC competition between schools. They didn't have it this year. It's normally in April because nobody would support it with you know, with some funding and that. And so I told them, you know, next year I can help them out. But I says, but I want to set up a control line competition for middle school. So those talks are starting to happen now and stuff. And I'm not sure whether it's to build one or design one, or here's the stuff, put this together, and we want to see who can take off, land, loop, and wing over, or something like that. So just the start of this. So we'll see what happens. But you get hooked up with the school system, and like I said, everybody's very much in favor of aeronautics and that in the aerospace. So it's time, since they're interested, it's time to say, well, what are you willing to do? Let's see.
Well, you'll find that a lot of people talk big game, but nothing ever happened.
Yeah, I hear you. Although this is definitely different, and that I'm helping a high school lady that I know because of flying RC with her husband, and that, and the we got all the flight school, the maintenance school, the tower, the airport, all giving information and volunteered to help, and all willing to come and talk to the students.
That's good.
So it was supposed to happen this year, but she had a cancer scare, and so now we're on track for really rolling it out next year, next school season.
I got out my old movies from way back in '63,
Yeah.
and I got a picture of my big Atlas fan lines, and then I made a little 1/2 A scale of it, of size, and I got myself flying home movies there. I forgot about that little plane I made. So,
Oh my golly.
yeah.
Yeah, I only have 2 planes of me flying, and they were both RC, and they were both when I lived in the Panama Canal and stuff. I had a T6 that really flew nice, and I could do all kinds of takeoffs and landings and stuff. And then a buddy of mine, we were the first ones to fly, and I never got a hold uh, of the people for Guinness Book of World Records, but we were the first ones to go from the Atlantic Ocean to the Pacific Ocean, fly RC nonstop. And it's 55 miles between oceans in Panama. And we built an RC plane called a Telemaster. We put a 1/2 gallon gas tank in it. And Gary worked for IBM. We made a mixture control for the needle valve and stuff. So it took us an hour and 5 minutes.
Ed, I didn't go through the canal, but I ported in Rodman for a week.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I was in Rodman. We went down there.
Yeah. Took
and,
off, flew out over the ocean, and then headed the other way. Boy, talk about some good fishing.
we didn't have time to fish. It was at the end of my EAOS, and I was in Rodman, Panama in November of '89, and I got back home in December of '89, and of course that's when we invaded and got old Pineapple Head out of there. So it was really weird for me because I was in Rodman on Liberty for a week, like 3 weeks before.
Wow.
I watched all the invasion going on CNN, right? And I was like, man, I was just there.
Yeah.
I was literally just there. And all the CNN news, them dropping in on the beaches and going through the towns. I was on Liberty there like 3 weeks before that happened. So,
yeah, I lived there 80 to 82.
oh, wow. Okay.
And
I was there in December '89, November '89.
Never stopped sweating.
You guys were modeling when you were down there, huh? You guys were flying airplanes while you were down there.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they closed Howard Air Force Base. So I had a 10,000 foot, 200 foot wide runway, a couple of miles from my home.
Were you flying control line while you were down there or just doing RC stuff?
No, just RC.
Just RC.
And stuff.
Okay.
I only started flying control line a couple of years ago.
Did
back.
did you have a base hobby shop down there when you were
No.
in?
No, but
Oh.
I was a civilian connected to the military, so I had a GS equivalency rating, and I could use use the commissary PX, and I had the same APO privileges and stuff. So all I had
Sparky,
to do was order it.
okay. Sparky, did you have a base hobby shop when you were in the Navy?
Absolutely.
You did. Okay.
Yeah. Lewis
We-
Rankin and I, we went back, when I was at Millington, that we used to fly between the church and the hobby shop. And I had a ringmaster with a G2135 and a wiffle ball sunk in the leading edge and run on 88 props. So it was basically a combat wing. And I used to fly that on Sunday mornings. I got chewed out a couple of times to not fly so early because of this church services and people sleeping. But yeah, we built airplanes in the hobby shop, and then I took them back to the barracks and put them in my room.
We didn't have a base hobby shop in Dam Neck, but we had a base hobby shop where you could work
Right.
on stuff.
Yeah, anything you wanted to.
Anything you wanted, cars, motorcycle. I used to change the oil on my bikes when I was there, do that kind of stuff. But also they had cages. So any hobby that you were working on, you had a cage and you could put your stuff in a cage with a padlock while you were gone or whatever. But I built a couple of flight strings and ringmasters when I was in A school at Dam Neck.
Hmm. Yeah, the military is pretty good on that.
What's the significance of sinking a wiffle ball into the wing?
Yep.
Yeah, wiffle ball pacifier tank, man. And a Super Tiger G21 on a ringmaster, that thing must have went like stink, Sparky.
So
Yeah, just like that voodoo I had.
Yeah.
between the lines here, are you telling me that the fuel tank was a wiffle ball?
Yes.
Okay.
With all the holes?
Yes. That's in case the bladder exploded, it would leak out the bottom.
It wasn't the fuel tank, it was a compartment, Steve.
Right.
Yeah. A bladder compartment or a pacifier compartment.
Used to go into the the local stores and buy up all the baby pacifiers and pull the nipple off of it and make that work.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's back when I could keep up with it. I can't keep up with them now.
I saw that.
Yeah.
At Brodax.
Yeah, well, the problem was I was at towards the end of the flight and decided I would unwind the lines. Well, if you think for a second, you're in the ground. So
Yep. Yeah. Well, I got to tell you, though, Sparky, you built those 4 Voodoos too nice. You built them
yeah, I know.
like you build your stunt planes. They were too beautiful for combat.
Yeah,
Great sport flyers, gorgeous airplanes, and they were light. And I think you didn't you put a carbon fiber spar in the middle of those things or something?
yeah,
Yeah,
the carbon spar instead of balsa wood.
they were gorgeous. I flew one of them, I think.
Yeah. The way it goes.
First your money and then your clothes.
Yeah. See, I need the calipers. This is not a 16th of an inch. It won't go. I mean, a 3/32 of an inch. It won't go through the hole. And hello, are you the person to whom I'm speaking? Johnny Longwalk, you have food order? Okay, we have 100,000. It's actually 101,000. $332 is nine 93,000. So we got to figure out can't have a drill bit that size.
Hi, John.
Hi, y'all. Both here. Oh, I was trying to find the real Steve Smith last week.
He's here.
Yeah.
What did I do now?
Well, I don't have your email address there anywhere. I thought I did, but I don't.
Oh, we've emailed before. I must have fallen to the bottom of the pile.
I don't know. It didn't bring it up. Now I have changed computers, so that might be what the problem is.
How do you want me to provide it to you? You want
If
me to
you've
just
got my
send you
email,
an
just send
email?
me an email.
Sally Bellcrank, right?
No, it's Joe Belgrade.
Oh, okay. I knew you were one of those.
It's BELCRANK, not double L. And then it's number 2 at Gmail. And the Joe is just J-O, no E.
Yep. Jobel Crank.
Joe Belcraig. Just say it like you think it should be.
Like Joe Mama.
Joe Mama. Yeah, come on there, and I saw that white thing up there that with the wings on it, and I thought I was looking at a Shark 45 until I read the wing.
732 is what?
What?
732.
10-30 seconds?
732.
7.
Just 7 times 03125.
764 is 1094. That would be it. I need a 764 drill bit. I don't think this is it.
Stuart, did you get your stuff?
Oh yeah, thanks, John.
Okay.
Um,
Was it helpful?
well, I didn't actually look. I kind of quickly just glanced at it, but I didn't go through it. But I'm sure it'll give me some ideas.
Okay.
So, I got a Thunder Tiger
42?
a 36,
Okay.
and I got this from Jim Lee to go in, and it'll fit down in, but you didn't drill any hole in the side for the needle valve.
Well, some guys drill it in the needle valve, some guys drill it through the body. That's why he did it. Let you make your choice.
Yeah, I don't know.
Drill through the body. If you drill through the
make
body, you can put the needle valve assembly right through it, and that holds the venturi in place.
Stuart, if you want a
This
drop
is
in, you
gonna-
need to tell them that you want the sprinkler style Venturi for the Evo 36. It's the same
Yeah.
size.
Yeah.
It's made to engage with that rear
Or
hole like
the
that.
exact same.
Yeah.
Now, does it go through the bottom here?
No,
Or-
it's made to work with that offset, that offset system that the Thunder Tiger 36 has. That's the Evo's the same way.
Okay, hang on.
Mike is deep in discussion on something there.
So it's an Evo. What size would it have been? Or is it? You know what I mean?
Now, in terms of what what the best size to run with that engine in your setup, I couldn't tell you that. Let me just show you this picture real quick here. Can you see that?
No,
There it is.
there it is.
That's what you need. It's the sprinkler style Venturi for an Evo 36, but you may want to double check with Jim, but I'm like in 98.8% sure that the Thunder Tiger is the same Venturi.
Yeah, it's got the got that little groove in there.
Oh,
Yeah.
you do have that much.
You
So
have one, yeah.
You're just maybe he didn't finish it.
Yeah, that cross piece he's got down there on the left-hand side of that one he's showing you.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you're missing this piece, and you said he didn't drill a hole in it.
Well, there's a he didn't drill a hole right through for the needle valve.
You won't do that.
Yeah, no,
See the
I think
see
what
the
it is
slot?
you're just
That's-
missing this piece here.
And where's that go?
That slides through first, and then you use a Super Tiger style needle valve.
Okay. He sent me a needle valve, but
Does it have that white piece on it?
no.
I gotta plug my charger in real quick before my laptop dies. Hang on.
You may need to talk to Jim on it.
Yeah, I might have to. You know what? I'm going to take a shot of it. That's picture he's got here.
A screenshot? Yeah.
Yeah. And then that way.
That picture's on his website. I just went to his website to get that.
Oh, shoot.
Could that little piece be in your packing when you got the other part? Maybe you
I'll have to
missed it.
double check. But shoot, I don't remember. But I'll call him and see what he
Yep.
said. Because does he already drill the hole through for the needle valve?
I've not ever purchased one of those from him, but I would presume he does.
Did he have the case to
No.
drill?
But then I got to drill a hole in the side of the engine.
No, it goes in a pinch bar.
Yeah, there's
Yeah, it's got I see that. I think that's what it was. The black bolt that goes through there, kind of thing.
That's it.
That's where the spray bar goes.
You put your Super Tiger spray bar there, and use that as a cinch bolt with that little white thing there. It's got the hole in it. Match
Sorry,
that.
do you take the bolt out and then put the plastic insert in? Is that it?
Right.
You use the needle valve to hold it all in there. You won't be using that cinch bolt anymore.
Oh, okay. I see.
Needle valve is the cinch bolt.
Yeah, and there is a tiny little hole in this
Yeah,
thing.
I think you're just missing the sleeve, it sounds like, and that's it.
Oh,
Now,
okay.
here's something to check. I don't know for sure. Is there any chance that you don't need that sleeve on the Thunder Tiger? Perhaps that needle valve fits in the bore.
Oh, I see.
I've never gotten one yet that had that sleeve. I've always just got the big part there that's got the O-ring around it, and you slide it down in there and you press it in as hard as you can with your thumb, put your needle valve through it, make sure you get it in the right direction where it's going to be when you use it, because if you put it in backwards and you've done all this for nothing, you're going to really be upset with yourself. But you make sure that the hole is in the center and it's turned toward that hole right there. But if you look at that thing, there's an indentation cut in it all the way across, filed across it all the way across where that needle valve sits in there, and that holds it in place.
Yep.
Yeah, maybe you don't need that white sleeve. Do you still need this screenshot, Stuart?
But hang on, let me just double check. I think I got it.
I've never used one of those sleeves.
Yeah, I don't.
So basically, I should just be able to slide this in where the black bolt is, and then tighten it up, and it should be okay.
It'll end up looking like this. This is a Super Tiger, but that's where it goes, just like that.
You make it big, make yourself big.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
He is big on my screen.
Not on this one.
Boy, that little hole's not very big for the.
Well, but you see that opens. Leave it alone. That one opens up to 4. There you go. See how that is?
Yeah.
What
Um,
Philip was telling you, Stuart, is you just got to take a look at that needle valve, and usually the hex where the fuel nipple is has a mark on it somewhere, and that's usually opposite
I
from the
see.
side that hole is out in the spray bar. You use that little mark on the hex to kind of help you aim it, so you know where the hell that little inlet hole is once you
Yeah,
shove it.
usually I would mark something like that, or with like I got a
Take a cutoff wheel, make a mark on the spray bar.
yeah, I'll put a mark on it opposite because that'll work it because it's going to be
Well, not on the spray bar,
well
but
on the bolt part of it or
yeah.
the yeah.
A lot of guys put a little dot on there with a
Punch. A
uh,
punch.
The ones that
well,
I
a lot of
bought,
guys do it with a dadgum marker, and then the first time you wipe the engine down, you get rid of it. So do it with a punch or like it's at a
I've
grinding,
got
just touch it.
I got a carbon scriber, hand scriber, so I can
Or just remember that's brass. It don't take much.
yeah. Okay, good. And I was trying to figure out how this thing went together.
I can see where it'd be confusing if you'd never seen one, you know?
Yeah. Okay, well, thanks. We'll do her.
I got an early 30 wake up, so I'll see you guys. Thanks for everything.
See ya.
Take
We
care of
can't,
yourself.
oh, dark
Cheers.
30 now, yeah.
Yeah. Oh, early 30.
Yeah, I got early 32. Got to go to the dentist. Bah humbug.
no.
Have him give you a lot of that gas, you can sleep it off while he's working on you.
Well, I'm telling you. I don't want to do a whole lot. It's a cute little European girl that does it, so it's not a big deal.
Oh, you want to watch her while she's doing it?
I'll
Okay.
put my dentist up against your dentist.
The
Well,
My dentist,
we can have a
my-
beauty contest with our dentist. I can't hardly stand to go to my dentist. She's so cute.
I got one.
This is just a girl that cleans your teeth. The dentist is an old is a young guy.
Well, this is actually the dentist at my place. She's hard. You can't. It's hard
Wow.
to look at.
Yeah, I got one. She's just like a model.
Yep.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know, man. I still think I might put her up against mine. I bet I'd win.
All right.
You got a
Bet you
picture?
$100 mine's better.
You got a picture?
No.
Oh,
She didn't have a website or anything?
I've seen his dentist. He showed a picture of her. Wow.
Yeah, the first time I went there, I was like, holy cow, I don't know if I'm going to
Did I die and fall in and win the jackpot or what?
Yeah.
I'm starting to worry about you guys. You're crazy.
What happens when you get older, you know?
Another question on this needle valve.
Okay.
Does it matter which way this goes in?
Yeah.
What side? I like to go into the side that gets the best run for the fuel line coming in. Now, a lot of that sometimes puts the needle valve on the bottom. I actually prefer it on the top on a profile.
I do on a profile. Put it on top.
But on a full body, you know,
Oh, here it is. Oops.
on a full body, you can have, if you set up, you can either have it on the right-hand side or on the left-hand side.
You want it next to the exhaust.
Depends on how the feed line is set up to feed, or the
Do
needle
you
valve.
want the nipple on the side of the exhaust?
No, the needle on the side of the exhaust.
Right. You want the fuel line to run straight out of the tank into the spray bar. So it's on the outboard. The outboard side has the fuel line. That means that the needle valve is going to be inboard next to the exhaust.
Put it
Right.
this way. Can you see that?
Or
Hold on.
that's inverted. So yeah, that's it.
It's hard to get your finger in there to change the needle valve because of the muffler. So can you put it this way?
No.
Okay.
You can, but you'll get erratic runs.
Yeah.
I use a post, and I use part of the RC carburetor, so the feed line goes straight in, and the needle valve is built in. I take the needle valve, everything off the carburetor, and I screw that in and set it up so the post is just about right in the middle, and that way I can have it come straight up the outside and straight there, and it's away from everything. I don't have a muffler to worry about. It's, you know, but you know, you got to set it up with that post setup to get it to do it. That's
I'm
what,
not sure what you mean, but like basically for mine, you're saying I need to do it this way, at least.
yeah.
No, that plane's upside down.
Well, this way.
Listen
Yeah.
close. The nipple goes to the outboard side.
Yeah.
Turn it over.
That's what I thought. That's a bit of a pain, though. That's all I was saying.
Yeah,
I'm
well,
wondering-
that's life. That's the way it is.
I may cut this off and put a little knob on the end. Make it easier. I did that on one of my other planes. Actually, it worked out pretty good.
I had one of those that broke off real short, and I put a end of a 440 nut on it, and I adjusted it with an Allen wrench, a screwdriver, you know. But that
Yeah.
did two things. It kept my fingers away from the back of the prop arc because it's longer than that. And two, it kept my buddies from readjusting my darn needle valve for me. I had a guy that I had a friend that more than once at a contest readjusted my needle valve for me and cost me several flights. I mean, I just had to wave him off because it won't run. And I told the judges, I'm sorry, but he adjusted my needle valve after I had it set with a tack and it won't pull. That's just too dang rich. But he did not like a motor running fast. Fox 59 running fast. He didn't like it. He wanted it running blubbering rich.
Well, they're so noisy anyway.
Prop.
Might have been the noise, Phil.
I think it was just he didn't want me to beat him.
Oh.
But he did it once, and I went over and told the judges, I'm sorry, I'll try to. And I fired it up again and walked out to the handle, and he walked over to adjust it again. And the guy holding it didn't say anything to him, and finally told him to leave it alone. And I hollered over, you touch that needle, I'm gonna break your damn arm. I've had it. And the judges walked over, the judges told him, shut it off. And I thought that's because I said what I said. They walked over and told him, you touch anybody else's needle valve today, you're out.
Whoa.
Okay. Because I wasn't the only one he done it to.
Yay.
So it was not a good thing.
Well,
But
I don't think nobody but your pit crew is supposed to be able to touch it.
the three of us came together. That was the thing. He rode down there in my van with me.
Mm-hmm.
But he messed me up so bad. He shook up. I couldn't fly. Couldn't do
I would
anything.
have left it there.
Well, trust me, I thought about it. I was so mad I could eat nails and chew spit tacks. But anyway, it was just one of those things. Some people just don't care about what's right and wrong. They just anyway.
Yeah.
Enough said.
It took 2 hours, but I got it.
There you
All
go.
right. Look at them wiggle.
Yeah, all I gotta do now is finish it up tomorrow.
Put it all back together.
It works better than it did with the sig bell crank in it.
Tim Just. I've seen you on the forum, never met you though.
Nice to meet you. And I'm with Dennis Nunes.
Oh, Dennis.
Morning.
Hi, Dennis. How are you?
Good.
I'll tell you what.
I live, Dennis lives in Stockton. He's going to the VSC, and I live halfway in between. So I'm the way station.
Oh, nice.
Do you
When
get
is-
him to
When
the
is that, this
mask off?
weekend?
Yes.
Yeah.
This week.
Right. Everybody's headed to VSC. That's why we didn't
Why
have
aren't
much
you-
crowd Friday.
Tim, why aren't you going?
I don't have an airplane, and I'm working. And
Oh.
right now, we're sitting here. Dennis is helping me build batteries.
Dennis will let you fly his.
No, he's seen me fly before. That boat sailed.
Well, sometimes the magic works and sometimes nothing works.
That's right. That's exactly.
You use up all the Aryans in that airplane.
Yep. So this is my first time building these batteries, and can I show this?
Yeah.
So Dennis is working on a manual on how to do it. Here's just the page we're on right now.
Oh, cool.
Are you guys soldering or welding?
Both. So we're spot welding the batteries together, and then we're soldering all of the balance the balance tabs and where's your? Can you show your spot welder? This little spot welder does great. It was like $65.
Well, that's yours.
Yeah. Well,
It's
it's the same.
similar.
That's how big it is, and
Wow.
it does a great job.
Where do you get that thing?
Amazon.
Can you use it to put a new front fender on a 57 Chevy?
Absolutely, and rechrome it.
Dennis, you better keep an eye on it.
Yeah, he already misled me once already. That's enough.
Yeah, I tried to convince him that one of his drawings didn't matter or wasn't right, and I'm remaking batteries now. I got the solder and desolder.
Which specific cell are you using?
The Molocell, the P30Bs, 3000 milliamp.
3,000 milliamp.
Yep.
So I fly a 6S 2800, the Thunder Power.
That's what I use.
Okay, and so I weighed them, and these are 2.5 ounces lighter.
And are you guys using the Pro Light Thunder Tigers, Thunder Powers, the real light ones?
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh yeah, so that's super light.
The old Thunder Power, the old Thunder Powers, they used a smaller cells for those, and they were a 1/2 ounce lighter than the newer ones. So the Success batteries now from Thunder Power are 13 ounces,
Yeah, that's what they are.
and the old ones are 12.5.
I was shocked though. I thought they'd be 2 ounces. I didn't think we'd get 2.5 out of it.
You know, I didn't think to weigh mine, but I had wondered what changed when I'd always flown the old batteries in the Revolution, and I took to fly two or three of the new ones, and it felt sluggish, like it was nose heavy. I wondered what happened. It's 1/2 ounce heavier. Okay.
And they're a little bit bigger on the height.
Yeah, they're tight. They're tight getting in. I noticed that.
Are you using the Spectrum connector,
Yes.
the 30 or the 50?
I don't know what Tim's got. I use it the XT60s.
Yeah, and mine are the oh heck, what are they? Here's what they look like. I don't remember what they're called.
Yeah, those look like 30s. No, that's a Spectrum. If you saw the end of it,
Okay, I see it.
you'd see it's.
Yeah, the other end.
Do you guys use that for your arming plug as well?
Yes, but it's a pretty tight fit.
Do you have to make your own bulkhead fitting, I guess?
Yes. Where's the camera? There it is. That's the other side.
Yeah.
They're nice though. They're easy to solder. This cap goes on.
Yep,
They're much easier to use than a Dean's.
And how?
Yes, that was a plus.
What'd you say those cells are again? I got to order some.
The Molocell,
Spell that.
Molicel. Hang on, let me look it up just to make sure.
It's yeah, he's got it right. Molicel, the P30B.
Yeah, the 1860 P30Bs.
Are they the same size in 18650?
Yes.
1860 P30B.
18650.
And the 3000 milliamp cell is a gram lighter than the 2800.
18650. Okay.
Hopefully Dennis's book is going to be on the forum pretty soon. So,
well, I want a copy when you get ready. I read a couple things he writes. He's a little crazy, but he's pretty smart.
That's
what I mean by little. He's proud of that.
I got the cone of silence on. He can't hear you. You can say whatever you want.
I've met him. I know better than that. That dude's pretty smart. Like I say, a little crazy, but pretty smart. He was talking to a couple of guys that I can't remember if it was Nationals or VSC, but I was talking to one of the guys that he was talking to, and I just started listening in, and I thought this was way before I decided to change over to electrics. It's been 2-3 years ago, and he knows more than I know. That's for sure.
So the other thing he just wrote about was that battery heater, and we went flying. Was it yesterday morning?
Yes, yesterday morning.
Yesterday morning, and it was like 40, 42 outside. And I charged the batteries in the house, and I keep them in the house. Then, but just sitting out there in the car, they got down. The temperature dropped a bunch, and that's where that battery heater just helps them keep them in the 45, 50 degree range.
Battery heater?
Yeah, it's just a. Go ahead.
It's an igloo, small, igloo cooler.
Yeah.
It has I use a baby bottle warmer. That's a USB 5-volt baby bottle warmer.
Yeah.
And I happen to have a portable charger for my iPhone in case I don't have any power. And it's a 130,000 amp charger, and it runs it all day long. No problem. It keeps the batteries nice and toasty, so that they don't get too cold.
And it's a real problem. I mean, out here when you go fly in the morning, so we're just trying to keep them at the temperature they are at, kind of room temperature. And I ordered from Amazon a portable heating pad that you can plug into a USB for in your car, and it fits inside my battery box, and it's not quite as efficient as what Dennis has.
I wrote an article about it. It's on the Flying Lines website.
You put it on there too, didn't you? There's a link to it.
It's on Stunt Hangar too.
Yeah,
I can't remember. I may have.
He is crazy. You're right. All right, this is good.
Well, two things I have to warn you. One, if I don't tease you, I'm probably not understanding something. And two, crazy knows crazy.
Okay, so let's go on the page here. It just if you haven't built them before, this book is going to be really handy.
I have built about everything electric, but I don't get tired of learning.
Yeah,
You know what they call it when you quit learning, right?
Confusing.
You guys know what they call it when you quit learning.
No.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let me end this on YouTube, and then you guys can do whatever. Appreciate you watching. We had a few super chats tonight from Dennis Holder and Wayne Wright.
On mute for a minute.
RC Fred, and Steve Smith will be your host. And if you're not a member, you can't watch it. So you got to go over to Stunt Hangar, join. Please like, subscribe, and share. Let's see if I can find it here. And my videos. God, there's so many windows open to run this thing. Okay. And alrighty, we'll see you tomorrow. Fair winds, tight lines. See you.
Nice, Barking.
He's not leaving yet. He's just closing YouTube out.
Yeah.
Okay.